más sabrosa. Es muy fácil de preparar. Solo agrega agua al tiempo y obtendrás tortillas con todo el sabor al maíz de tu tierra.
Team Jurgen Klinsman. We will begin with an opening statement. We will take questions from the norteamericanos primero y después de Honduras. Jurgen, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, first of all, congrats to Honduras for a very good game from their side, for an amazing goal, the equalizer, that they will probably remember for a long, long time. Obviously not as good as we wanted it today. I think we've done too many mistakes in too many areas, tactically in certain ways, individual mistakes, collective mistakes, so we gave too many opportunities to this Honduras team and they took advantage of it.
La pregunta fue para el entrenador Jurgen Klinsmann, ¿qué piensa del partido? La respuesta: enhorabuena a la selección de Honduras, fue un buen partido, jugaron bien. El gol estuvo muy bueno de Honduras, especialmente el gol del empate. Cometimos muchos errores en las tácticas y también como jugadores individualmente. Les dimos demasiadas oportunidades y se aprovecharon de ellas.
Jurgen, your team seemed to be a little winded in the second half, and on the decisive goal, the U.S. was behind the plate just barely on two occasions there with Tim Howard and Mark Gonzalez. Was that a coincidence, and what did you think about the fitness in the second half?
No, I think in that moment it was individual mistakes that happened. You know, I think we had problems closing down the passing lanes, also on the outsides throughout the whole first half, and also in the second half. You know, with Maurice Edu, things kind of calmed down a bit. You know, he cleaned more up. You know, he played simple balls. We kept more possession. That's what we were asking for. Overall, I mean, there were too many mistakes done, and too many players today just didn't reach their usual potential. You know, they're staying behind their own game, and therefore, you know, it's really difficult then coming away with a win here if you're not having everybody 100% at their limits.
You're saying all that. When you got to 75 minutes, 77 minutes, were you confident that the way the game was unfolding that you would get out there?
No, I was still hoping, you know, if we can kind of calm it down a bit, pass the ball around. Every time we started to pass the ball around and kept possession for a bit, it looked good and we could create something, you know, and the confidence rose in that moment. But we gave it away often too early, you know, and that makes you running out behind, you know, and it gives the opponent the chance, you know, kind of to find these areas and passing lanes that would break through. You know, I think we were forced into certain substitutions that maybe 10 minutes before the end say, you know what, just let's lock it in with a 1-1. But in that moment already we had all three because of Jermaine Jones cramping up. And we still hope, you know, that we can create something which, you know, with our front line is always as well as possible.
Jurgen, are you confident this was a one-off, and how much of a factor was the field?
I mean, obviously, it's not what we wanted. You know, we wanted to start with a positive result, and we have to fix that right away now against Costa Rica in Denver in March. But we knew it's going to be difficult, you know, and on the field, both teams play on the same field. You know, I think we mentioned that yesterday. There are no excuses. When you lose a game here, there are reasons for it. You know, the reasons for it tonight was that, or today was that too many players kind of were underneath their usual performance. You know, and we made many mistakes then doing that. I mean, it's not easy, as we knew. You know, Europeans flying in, today's preparation, all that stuff. But again, you know, I think we gave them far too much space today.
Jurgen, your back four today, none of them had ever played in a hexagonal game before. Do you think that lack of experience played a part today? And can you talk about your decision to start Gonzalez over Bocanegra?
Well, we believe that Omar is ready for the next step. He's ready for the international level, and the only way you find that out is to give him a chance, you know, and throw him in the cold water. And I think overall he's done well. You know, there will always be moments where there might be a misunderstanding between two center backs, or you know, the chemistry with the number 6. You know, if that is in front of the center backs, you know, that takes time to develop. You know, but the back line was not the reason now why we lost that game. And I think, you know, if you see the first goal, I mean, it's a fantastic bicycle kick. You can just give him a huge compliment. You know, probably the goal of the century here in Honduras. But still. Overall, midfield as well, that's why we did the subs in midfield. You know, we didn't find our passing flow. We didn't, you know, combine well enough. We didn't hold the ball well enough. You know, often lost the ball far too early, and therefore you're going to give them credit for it.
Preguntas en español.
Muy buenas tardes, Salvador García, Diario 10 de Honduras. Preguntarle primero cómo califica toda la experiencia de venir a Honduras, y segundo, si ya decidieron dónde van a jugar contra Honduras.
How would you describe your overall experience playing against Honduras? Have you decided where are we going to play Honduras in the next round?
Oh no, I mean, we played many times against each other, and so we knew it's going to be a very difficult game. And today they showed a very, very good performance. They were very dedicated. They were, I mean, playing a real good game. We have a fantastic equalizing goal, as I said before. You know, those games are all one at a time. You know, it's a stretch of 10 games. We have to fix now this mistake today, right away in the next game, and then we're going to see each other again in June.
Hemos jugado ya varias veces contra Honduras, conocemos al equipo muy bien. Sabíamos que iba a ser un partido difícil, jugaron bien. Son los partidos que hay que tomarse uno por uno. Uno tiene que mirar los 10 partidos en general y vamos a ver qué hacemos en junio cuando juguemos contra ellos.
Mr. Klinsman, do you think these 3 points goes for Honduras only because of the mistakes for USA, or Honduras plays better this game to get the 3 points? O sea, Estados Unidos cometió muchos errores, dijo al principio, pero esta selección de Estados Unidos pierde y da esos 3 puntos, pierde esos 3 puntos ante Honduras porque Honduras jugó mejor o porque la selección de Estados Unidos nada más cometió los errores.
There are always both sides to it. You know, there's a team that makes mistakes, which we did a couple of mistakes too many, and there was a very, very good performance by Honduras. You know, finishing off with 2 goals, and one of them absolutely fantastic. So you got to give Honduras a big compliment for today, what they played, what they achieved, you know, and we knew that it's going to be difficult coming here, and it's going to be a long stretch, the whole year 2013.
Hay 2 lados en ese partido, un equipo que cometió errores por un lado y por otro lado un equipo que jugó muy bien, Honduras. Marcaron 2 goles por 2 goles buenos. Sabíamos que iba a ser un partido difícil y así resultó.
¿Qué tan sorpresivo fue para usted este resultado de visita y qué tantas posibilidades le ve a Honduras de clasificar al Mundial de Brasil?
Was this a surprising result for you? And what do you think? What's your opinion of Honduras qualifying for the next World Cup?
Well, not surprising. I mean, there's always a battle. Every game is difficult, you know, especially when you're playing away from home. But we knew that, and tonight it didn't work out the way we wanted it. So we have to make sure that the next coming games we're going to collect the points that we need to qualify for Brazil, which we will do. You know, so it's going to be a long stretch, and maybe we go to Brazil all together.
El resultado sí nos sorprendió porque siempre es difícil jugar contra Honduras o cualquier otro equipo fuera de casa. Tenemos que ganar los próximos partidos y estamos tirando hacia el futuro, hacia llegar al Mundial de Brasil.
Jurgen, you talked ahead of the game about concentration, focus. Your team held the lead for just 4 minutes today. How do you work on that? By what process do you change that?
Well, obviously, you know, nobody expected a goal like this, you know, a couple of minutes after scoring the first one. So it was just an outstanding thing that they did in that moment, you know. But overall, it showed that in that game we were not able to hold the ball long enough to pass it around, to make the opponent chase the game, you know, and it became the opposite. That, you know, we had to run after them, and therefore, you know, they deserve a huge compliment today.
La pregunta fue cómo se las arregla el entrenador para que el equipo se concentre en un partido. La respuesta fue nadie se esperaba este resultado, tenemos que controlarlo a dar más, ya que el equipo juega en su ritmo y así se ganan los partidos.
Mr. Klinsman, maybe this is one of the less competitive U.S. teams we've seen in Honduras play against us. You have a very short-term game against Costa Rica. How do you think you can change and get your players to be on 100%, as you say they went today?
Well, I think it's just normal. I mean, you take a game like this and you digest it, and you analyze the mistakes, you talk about the mistakes that they've done, and then you move forward. And we'll see a totally different team, hopefully, in the next game, which you will. But it also shows you how competitive CONCACAF is, and we all know that. You know, going in each country is tough, is difficult, and you have to adjust. And you have to find ways to solve the game, which tonight we didn't. You know, we gave Honduras far too much space everywhere throughout the field, and they deserved that win.
La respuesta fue uno se queda con el resultado que tiene y sigue jugando. CONCACAF es una organización muy competitiva, como saben, hay buenos equipos en la región. Tenemos mucho espacio a Honduras en este partido y se aprovechar las oportunidades que les dimos.